So in conclusion, the builder of the Tower of Babel put in place a plan to unify the whole earth. The problem was that they were not seeking God, but seeking to satisfy their own goals in opposition to God. The unity of the people and the languages allowed them to rule over their entire land. God intervened, and in one instant, he disrupted their whole plan by confusing the languages of mankind. The enemy has been working to reinstate the system which he almost created some 5,000 years ago. By studying the original plan, we have identified the following traits of the system that the enemy is devising. You'll likely notice some characteristics that are common practice in churches today, but were unheard of 100 years ago. Other characteristics may seem unimaginable right now. So these are 6 characteristics for the New Babylon, the New World Order. A spirituality focused on human merit instead of Christ's sacrifice. So for instance, you can receive salvation from your own merit without God. So a work-based system of salvation. Number 2, replacing the Bible with a focus on people's psychological or emotional needs. So a focus on man's hopes, dreams, desires, and needs. A focus on self-ambition. A needs-based theology. Number 3, a new morality focused on caring and social justice. Replace religion with a social plan. Focus on peace, love, equality, and acts of service, but deny that there are any absolute truths. So happiness replaces righteousness. Number 4, a focus on religious unity. So combining all the religions. Any path to God is acceptable. Whatever you call your God, that's the same as my God. Focus on unifying the religions. A single, unified, hierarchical church leadership system. So all churches reporting to the same single human organization, where the religious leaders are taking the place of God. The flow of information is passed down the hierarchy, and you go through the religious leaders in the religious system to obtain salvation. So the goal to have one unified church system with one group at the top. And then a religious system that's combined with the political system. So both churches and government report to the same body. A single individual holds the highest political and government office. And civil punishment for not worshiping the God defined by the unified system. So if you control the religion, the civil laws, and the definition of morality, then you control society. You control the masses, because your outward behavior is determined by your inward beliefs. So a quote from C.S. Lewis, author in his book, Mere Christianity. He said, as long as people are unified and left to their own devices, the result will be a swift descent into degradation. Some will seek power and seek to rule over all the others. The moment you have a self at all, there is a possibility of putting yourself first, wanting to be the center, wanting to be God, in fact. That was the sin of Satan, and that was the sin he taught the human race. Some people think the fall of man has something to do with sex, but that's a mistake. What Satan put into the head of our remote ancestors was the idea that they could be like God, could set up their own as if they had created themselves, be their own masters, invent some sort of happiness for themselves outside of God, apart from God. And out of that hopeless attempt has come the long, terrible story of man trying to find something other than God which makes him happy. So keep this list in mind when you listen to sermons, when you hear about new Christian projects. Keep the list in mind when you watch TV and current affairs, and you may be surprised at what you discover.